Hello, welcome back to Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Hey, Nick! What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atney's trial today. Detective Atney? They say they're going to try him as Master Mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial. I know. By the way, where's Purse? Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Rose has really gotten into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I kill someone. Come on, don't be silly. Oh, wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heist. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder? It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. The order that I do things sometimes, it's confusing. I didn't do last time. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Rondelay. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand. Rondelay is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your word. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going for him. The victim is King Bolton, CEO of KD Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness. Okay, then. Let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Rondelay, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. Ha! You've got guts, Troy. Alright then, Mr. Rondelay, please take the stand. Did Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Oh, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with that basis. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ha! Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? You didn't kill Bola. Why did you go to KD Security? Oh, well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go. visit to KB Security. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bowler in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I'd been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Ha! It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. You'd never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Alright. No, he could not have done it. I really don't think he did. Oh. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this, or take that. Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Please don't say anymore. Now, what should I do? Press hard. So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. A perfect motive for committing murder. Wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ha! A muddy blood skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmailer said, if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask thing. But I wasn't worried. Mr. Bowler didn't have anything on me. Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me, just as long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mr. White didn't believe he was mask to mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. So if this is the added one, something about him getting scared. Did he get scared and he's just saying he didn't get scared, or is it something a little more deep than that? Okay. What about this then? You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. Security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge, perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. Don't say anything. I don't know if I should do these. Why he was fired? What? Maybe not that one. How about life after being fired? What did you do after being fired from KB Security? I spent a lot of time looking for work, but then I decided I wanted to start something myself. Not good. This is going from bad to worse. So I started looking at books, TV, and movies, learning all I could about masked men. Masked men? So you wanted to try drawing a comic, right? About masked men? Oh, no, that's not right. I wanted to... Your Honor, let's move along, shall we? But you asked the question. You're being quite odd today, Mr. Wright. Way to bring the spinning buzzsaw one notch closer to your own neck, Ace Attorney. There wasn't much to his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least, that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. But if we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Is it just this?
Objection!
No. Okay.
Hold it!
Is this them? 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No. Actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow, and my internal clock was also a bit. 1 a.m. That's the exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, right? Right. It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure.
Hold it!
Okay, why he was fired, but I don't think I should ask that. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money. Well, you see, Bessie loves this idea. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, honey. My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info in all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, we stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullard found out, and I was fired. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret, and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings fun to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from the company. Is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that.
Hold it!
Why would you do something like that? Well, for Desi's hobby. What else? Wasting money, huh? It's not a waste. So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she? So it would seem. I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other. I can't believe that this case has gotten even Maya to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright. I got 2 things to add. Jeez.
Hold it!
Objection!
For that reason, isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was Master. But you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over once I was fired. I have to do that after. Yeah, so it's the order that I have to do things that gets me a lot. I just. What? But it is true that the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data. I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Probably would, yes he would. Mr. DeLay, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Huh. Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo. Yes, now come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. DeLay want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? I guess he would not especially have any problems. Nah, I guess not. But didn't you just say you might? Always avoid unpleasant or inconvenient facts. That's one of my rules. Don't try to get out of this by acting all cool. Cause trouble or anything. Oh, where's this one?
Objection!
Mr. DeLay, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person. Miss Desiree DeLay, the defendant's wife. But listen to me, my Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Ugh, go dot. Yes, it was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. DeLay stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. No, everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that, or he'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. DeLay? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. At the CEO's office. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Mass struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atney turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ha! No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Wright? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Ooh. Your forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit me? Well, like I said, it was a fast and powerful hit, so I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. Who was this suspicious shadow? If there were 1,000 of me, and if even one knew, I tell you, trust me, his dodging all of our questions is not helping us win this case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bowler, at that time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. A? Forget it. When you came to, yes, I was passed out in the corner of the room. Do you know when your assailant made their escape and to where? I'm afraid I don't really remember. Huh. Once they hit me, I lost all track of what was going on. I think that's when they made their escape. Oh, that's certainly a convenient story for you, isn't it? It certainly is, isn't it, Mr. Wright? It almost sounds practiced. I don't know why you're telling me. You heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday, didn't you? There's not much in his testimony either. I bet you he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out of him. I just hope he doesn't make things more complicated. I don't know. Just tell me the truth, Ron. That? Could you please clarify what you were referring to? Why, my Master Mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Master Mask. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then, I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Hey, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. Sometimes things just slip your mind. My 6th cup of coffee is stirring up at me coldly. At any rate, you can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I had been killed if I hadn't been wearing my Master Mask costume. Why are you dressed up as Master Mask? Why, because I'm Master Mask, of course. But what are you talking about? Master Mask's trial is being held next door. Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy, let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected. It took a lot longer? What's he talking about? Wait, is here, press harder? Press harder? Oh, what do you mean by it took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullett's body. What was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe. Well, yeah. Inconceivable. Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Wright hid the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. This metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir. Looks like the storefront is moving in over the Fairweather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes.
Hold it!
Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway? Well, because it wouldn't fit in the drawer. That's not exactly what I meant. When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find this corpse, they'll think I did it. I think you had a simple reason. It's because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. That certainly makes more sense. Hold on. 10 minutes. What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? And spend 10 whole minutes to do it? Under those circumstances? What circumstances? Oh! Hey, Nick, if you think his behavior was so strange, why don't you present some evidence that would show just what those circumstances were? That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence. We heard this from Mr. Delight yesterday. There's not much in his testimony either. I bet he's still hiding something. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just have to draw it out. You already said that. There's a buzzer record, and there's a... Oh, the key card too, so...
Objection!
Buzzer record. Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once, at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron DeWitt truly was the murderer, he would have ran as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection!
Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building.
Objection!
Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about it.
Objection!
But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend. It wasn't anywhere in the vicinity. It was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
Objection!
Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going.
Objection!
This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Fine. Let's hear your theory. called the defense testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Dwight said he felt dazed. I'm going to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted. That's why Mr. Dwight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. That's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. Dwight was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious. It can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Dwight and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous. It was this kid. Ron Dwight is the one who killed King Buller.
Objection!
And who pressed the buzzer? It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. So King Buller sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't King Buller who sounded the buzzer? Prove it already, or I'm not ready yet. I can prove it already. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Well, there are no fingerprints on it, so no one could have sounded it. So whoever did sound it probably put fingerprints on, or was using gloves. So... this says 1 a.m. and the buzzer went off at 1:02 a.m. Is it just a... Let's see, right on. What if I say I'm not ready? Since in this there's no evidence to the contrary. It is possible that the victim himself sounded the buzzer. Huh. Possible, more definite, Mr. Wright. Which means only 2 people were there at the crime scene after all. The victim, King Buller, and his killer, Mr. Buller. Come on, Nick. You can't prove that the real killer was there. This trial was as good as finished. Or, I guess I need to show supportive evidence after all. The defense's opinion is this, Mr. Wright. Alright. So that's all that happened. I believe this is a piece of incontrovertible. It's just a buzzer. Oh, dude. Piece of evidence proof that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Okay, but if it was someone who was wearing gloves, then that would probably be why there are no fingerprints. is the buzzer. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there is absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have had he would have left the fingerprints behind.
Objection!
Dr. Wright obviously wiped them off.
Objection!
Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched that button. I know he did.
Objection!
The defendant, Mr. DeWitt, was dressed as mask to mask. A mask to mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order. I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what blend number crow-flavored coffee is. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? It looks like you are fresh out of parlor tricks. They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. And Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed, security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh, you got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? I didn't to find out what it did. Call security guard. Okay, emergency buzzer. I mean, it says emergency buzzer. Did they really want to find out what it did? Did they not mean to? They didn't mean to. In all probability, the killer didn't mean to press it. What do you mean? It's possible that they simply pressed it by accident. It could have been with the back during the scuffle, for example. That must be why there weren't any fingerprints.
Objection!
Ha! Is there a functioning brain underneath all that ridiculous hair, Mr. Trey? Oh. The accused testified that he was hit as soon as he entered the room. In other words, as far away from the buzzer as he could possibly be at the time. It would seem you've been taken for a ride, Mr. Wright. Or, one more time. I've got to calm down and think quick. Why did they call the security guard? The killer knew that if they pressed that button, the guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes. Oh, if it's only one guard, though. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time. Huh, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in. No, no. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, King Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron DeWitt, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hypothetically, yes. Now, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron DeWitt. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron DeWitt for the murder. heed my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it that tried to frame me? Or, wait a second. I'm the one and only mask to mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... We're going to drag that person in here right now. But, who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Dwight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to Katie's security down. So, the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Campbell. Now, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Dwight for the murder of Campbell? Okay. Really?
Take that!
Okay. Detective, look at me. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Look at me. You mean Master did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Campbell. Order, Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke Atney confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as masked to mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along, to be found guilty. Mask to mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the timber and had Ford would take it. In other words, being found guilty as mask to mask was Luke Atney's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. Guilty as an alibi. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atney's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atney's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Dwight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! I bet it's only good when your life stands. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Dwight. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like... Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well, I decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when you return, please summon Mr. Luke Atney to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Well, Sir Detective Atney. I have to say, Mr. Coon, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atney. You were the one who... That's enough. This court sees no reason to fully critical. This court finds the defendant, Luke Atney. Huh?
Hold it!
Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my court. Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atney. Accusation? You accuse Master Mask. That man is not Master Master. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? It's another judge. Ooh. Whoa. He really wants to run away from his murder. He's even using another crime to cover it up. Bye.